People get lost in the jungle every day, so let's get lost one more time. Heads up people, we have one more wild story to tell. So build high the walls, build strong the beams. A new life is waiting, but danger's no stranger here. Stay with us until the end as we have some great news about the upcoming movie. Tarzan is much older than you thought. The character is a creation of Edgar Rice Burroughs, and he first appeared in the novel Tarzan of the Apes back in 1912. Tarzan, or the Ape Man, is a fictional character, a feral child raised by the Mangani great apes in the African jungle. His experience with civilization was much later, only to reject it and return to the wild as a heroic adventurer. With help from his childhood friends Tantor and Turk, he would grow to become the valiant protector of the apes and the jungle. Tarzan is a loyal, honorable, and extremely brave character. He cares deeply about his friends and family, and he's always ready to risk his life to save them. When he was a child, he was fun-loving and playful, but also felt like a pariah due to the fact that he was human. He had never seen another human before Jane Porter, her father, and Clayton arrived in the jungle. As an adult, he became a more serious character, but still displayed a friendly and playful side when around his family and friends. Now let's jump to the previous movie for a few moments. The Legend of Tarzan was directed by David Yates. The story circles around John Clayton, once known as Tarzan, in the moments when he left the African jungle for a gentrified life with his lovely wife.
Do you swing on things inside, like when you go upstairs?
Oh, I never take the stairs. I usually take the curtains.
He'll be invited back to Congo's parliament, but he realizes he's a pawn in a murderous plot of revenge and greed that was created by Leon Rom, the King of Belgium's envoy. The Harry Potter director read lots of scripts, but The Legend of Tarzan was the one that blew his mind, and all that because it was so far different from his expectations. What kept his attention was the sense of sex and sensuality and Tarzan's deep connection to the natural world. The movie has epic landscapes, politics, and action, and yet Jane and Tarzan are incomplete without each other, which is really moving in its timelessness and beauty. In the movie, Alexander Skarsgård is screaming, yelling, an ape-loving guy who swings around and vines, who's since become civilized. He's married to Jane, played by Margot Robbie, that live in a beautiful home in England. But he gets called back to the jungle when that scheme is brought about by Christoph Waltz's character that enslaves the entire population of people. Alexander Skarsgård, who plays Tarzan in the movie, was amazed by the story's different take on the character and material. A man lost between two worlds returning to the roots. This ended up being the main plot. Anyway, the physical aspects of the character ask for very hard work. Skarsgård had a very difficult 3 months of bulking up with 7,000 calories a day and of course weightlifting.
He looks like the greatest version of Tarzan you could ever imagine.
When we first got Alexander, he didn't look like that. He was half the size.
It was very important for Tarzan to be agile and flexible, but not look like a bodybuilder. Anyway, this movie was adapted from a series of boys' adventure books all written back in the 1900s, and at that time, social and racial awareness wasn't even close to what it is today. Colonialism was not a word that was preceded by the evils of. Therefore, the critics were in doubt if we should retire Tarzan forever or replace his loincloth of casual unself-consciousness with a specially designed super garment of sophisticated thinking and awareness. For the first part, we were waiting way too long, and even then, in that period of wait, there was a discussion about a sequel. Back in 2016, in an interview in London, David Yates and actor Alexander Skarsgård hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. No, really, in all seriousness now, they confirmed that there will be a sequel. Yates said, "We have an outline which we're very excited about, and that took the attention of the media."
And it was the most incredible movie set I've ever seen in my life. They recreated Africa. They're two massive hangars that they turned into jungle sets.
Anyway, The Legend of Tarzan is already a sequel in many ways. The story begins several years after Tarzan left his home, the jungle, and landed in London, where he lives with his wife and has the name John Clayton III. Everything is pretty chill until he gets invited to Congo as a trade emissary. The rumors about the sequel were very loud until the first movie hit the theaters, and let's put it this way, the critics killed it completely. This movie will stay remembered as a costly critical misfire that failed to make a real connection with its general audiences in the way the filmmakers would have hoped. And we don't think that this was fair because The Legend of Tarzan had some really good parts. This is an undeniably awkward character, and to try and bring it back on screen, well, this might bring us to many different reactions. The main problem is the one that the movie hits head first into, and that's the white savior complex. But it's important to mention that the legend of Tarzan weaves it into the heart of colonialism in Africa right from the opening. There's no official information about a release date or any other information about the stage of production of Tarzan's sequel yet. The rumors aren't that loud anymore, but we definitely want to see more of this story, maybe even a prequel story, a remake of Tarzan 2 animated movie. Yates made a great cast list the first time. We don't doubt that he would make great decisions in the sequel as well. Alexander Skarsgård and Margot Robbie teamed up as Tarzan and Jane. We saw Samuel L. Jackson as George Washington Williams, Djimon Hounsou as Chief Mbonga, Christoph Waltz as Enemy Captain. Maybe even some of these actors will be interested to reprise their roles. The animated Tarzan 2 Disney film was released in 2005. The full title was Tarzan 2: The Legend Begins, so we assumed that The Legend of Tarzan 2 would be a remake. In this movie, Tarzan is presented as a young boy raised by gorillas, worried that Zugor, a fabled monster, will someday catch him. He's downhearted that he can't run as quickly as the other fellow apes in his family, and he's trying to prove himself, resulting in chaos. When an accident happened and left his mom thinking that Tarzan had died, and the other apes thought that Tarzan has reached a fitting end, the boy believes it best for everyone involved if he runs away. After he was chased by Saber the leopard, he would find his way to a rocky place known as Dark Mountain. This place is inhabited by two spoiled hulking gorilla brothers, the exceedingly violent Kago, the dim-witted Uto, and overprotective mom Gunda. They fear the monster as much as Tarzan does, so when they hear the monster echoes through the valley, Tarzan will be able to run away. He encounters an angry old gorilla who at first will keep the boy in distance, but Tarzan will realize that this is actually Zugor. He would use this discovery to force Zugor into letting him stay in his place. Thanks to Tarzan's helpfulness and cheerfulness, the monster would start to warm to him. Turk and Tantor, Tarzan's friends, come looking for him, but the boy doesn't want to return home with them. It was only when his mother Kala would appear and encounter trouble with Uto and Kago and their mother Gunda that Tarzan finally realizes that it is his time to shine and save his family. On a related note, tell us down in the comments below, what are your thoughts on Yates' first movie? Do you think that the sequel will be released soon? What are your expectations and what are your theories? Do you think it'll be a remake or maybe some different story? Which characters that haven't been mentioned should appear, and what are your suggestions? If you liked the video, like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you'll never miss our next videos. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.